Well, they say if you can make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere. And Kyle Snyder hoping to make it on the senior level on the international stage, his senior level debut. Last year, a junior world champion for the United States, taking on Khadjimurat, Gatsalov, and this will be a tester. He's the 2004 Olympic champion and a 5-time world champion, regaining that throne as #1 of the world last year. The 30-year-old Russian and the 18-year-old American underway.
Contrast in styles.
And Snyder got 2, gave 2 back.
It could be 2-2, or simply it's going to be 2-1.
No, they have ruled it a 1-pointer and then 2 the other way, so 2-1 lead for Gatsalov. In that opening flurry, the crowd went crazy as the kid went after the old veteran.
And that's where you look at it, and how do you prepare for somebody who's a 6-time world Olympic champion? Do you go out there? Are you the aggressor? Are you the one that really takes it to him? Or are you going to be the patient one? And I think that's what's so impressive about Kyle. He doesn't really get in this position where he's scared to go out there and take a shot. And right there, he got the position. He was looking to finish, but that's where the old and the experience of a great Russian wrestler continues to shine, as their technical position and being a world champion numerous times really comes about because of the time and effort put in every day to develop those little specific moves that can bail you out of a bad situation.
Well, he doesn't look like an 18-year-old. He doesn't wrestle like an 18-year-old, and he doesn't comport himself like an 18-year-old. Talking yesterday, he was looking forward to this challenge. And again, he's been living and training. It's been his senior year of high school at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, so he's been performing against top-level competition from the United States, but in a precarious spot there, gets taken down by Gatsalov.
Yeah, that's where Gatsalov actually got in a position where he was looking at kind of hipping around, coming around for just a simple takedown, and that's where Kyle thinks he could kind of pressure into him, and that's where the experience and to get that body lock. If he would have had his hips in the right position, he could have got a great amplitude 4-point throw, but only finished down for the 2-point takedown.
They understand why he's won 5 world titles and an Olympic crown. Impressive move, 4-1 lead for the 30-year-old Russian against the 18-year-old American from Woodbine, Maryland. Snyder now trying to respond. And comes back, 2 for the takedown. It's a 1-point match.
And that's just physicalness, seeing a leg, and ultimately, that's where Gatsalov is actually trying to use his weight and his strong hips, and that's where, Kyle just went in and just physically picked him up and put him down. You can only, defend so much with weight. Ultimately, technique is going to win.
The top high school wrestler will be wrestling at Ohio State next year. Trailing by 1. 20 seconds left to go here in the first.
15 seconds now, first period.
Such solid positions, from guys that weigh 215 pounds. These are big, strong athletes that usually don't get in a lot of bad positions.
He's about at 97 kilograms. 4-3 in favor of Gatsalov of Russia. And Snyder hanging around here against the veteran.
That's where Gatsalov, steps in and looked at possibly elevating the hips and coming through, but just decided for a 2-point takedown. Good position, and this is where Kyle, just with the power and the strength, elevated it, and then kind of a bull rush to push it out of bounds. That's where Goliath tried to step back in and not get pushed out, and got ultimately taken out for 2.
Getting some encouragement was Kyle Snyder from Bill Zadek of Team USA Wrestling, the assistant coach, who'll be joined by Bruce Burnett, who's been announced this week, coming back for his second stint as head coach of the U.S. freestyle team. Was there in the mid-90s through 2000, a couple of Olympic cycles. He's replacing Zeke Jones, who led Team USA in the freestyle team at the London Games, and for the last few years, Zeke leaving to take the head coaching job at his alma mater at Arizona State.
And Bruce Burnett had a chance to work with him back in the 90s, and just one of the most on-point, focused, one of the points where USA Wrestling was truly year in, year out the best team in the world. And that's what I think USA Wrestling is looking at doing is they want to establish himself for Rio in 2016 as being the team to beat again. And Kyle right here being one of the athletes that looks at being the future.
And again, Gatsalov able to work his way towards the 2. Snyder almost was able to sneak out, only maybe give up a single point, but it is 2 and the lead is at 6-3.
It is, and that's where the old and the experience, you just slowly chip away until you get the 2-point opportunity, and then that's where Kyle's got to be smart, because you don't want to take a huge attempt here and get put in a position where you're going to get injured or get put on your back. But you want to give yourself a chance, even though you're 18 years old. You still think that you can beat these old and these experienced 6-time Olympic and world champion. Gives yourself a chance to be in the match.
Under 90 seconds left. Snyder trying to come back from down 3. Do you remember your first senior level international bout? Do you remember that? I know it's a couple years ago.
It was actually in Las Vegas, and I actually won. I got all the way until, I got to meet a gentleman named Bruce Baumgartner who beat me 10-1. I was so happy I scored a point on him, and I got off the match, and his wife didn't like it that I scored a point on him, and I was pretty proud of myself, and I got to know Bruce, and he's a 4-time Olympian and 2-time gold medalist in bronze and silver, and he was one of the guys that really gave, I think, America dominance at heavyweight and freestyle, and that's exactly where Kyle Snyder's looking at going.
Well, Snyder has gotten points off this 5-time world champ and also an Olympic champ, but he'd love to come back and pull out a victory, put that in his memory bank in his first senior level international bout.
Oh, that would be huge, especially against a 6-timer. But ultimately, this is where, the experience of slowing things down, slowing it down, getting the points when you need to, and then make your opponent make a mistake. If you're willing to take that big effort, I'm willing to take advantage of your mistake.
Now Snyder trying to come through with something here in the final 20 seconds.
And that's where Gatsalov is so patient, staying in your face, changing levels. You bring something to me, I'll finish it, and I'll figure it out, and I'll beat you with your own move. And that's where he's just so confident. And that's why he's 6-time world Olympic champion.
Well, experience beating youth, but from what we saw from Kyle Snyder, the future is bright. Gatsalov, the Olympic champ, the 5-time world champ, gets the win over the young American, but you better believe you'll hear more from Kyle Snyder in the future. The action from Times Square continues in a moment on NBCSN.